Hello, my wonderful kids. Today we are going to be talking about the quotient rule. You should have a handout that has these notes here. And we're going to begin with, I can use the zero exponent rule to simplify expressions with exponents. And then we're going to move on to using the quotient rule. So if you look at the first rule for today, it says the zero exponent rule. This is just saying that any number that is non-zero to the zero power is going to be 1. So if you notice, you're going to have the following examples. 2 to the 0 power, that equals 1. That's your answer. Simple as that. Number 2, you have negative 3 to the 0 power, and the answer for that one is 1. Now this one, number 3, is a little bit more complicated because you have negative 5 to the 0 power and it's not in parentheses. If it's not in parentheses, the 0 only applies. That exponent only applies to the 5. So really, this is going to be negative 1 because the negative just comes down and 5 to the 0 is 1. So then your answer is going to be negative 1. So any number to the 0 power is just 1. Let's take a look at the quotient rule. Before we actually go into the quotient rule, what we're going to do is we're going to expand first and then simplify. I want you to see it the long way so that you guys can actually appreciate the rule. So we're going to have the base 3 to the 7 power means that you're going to be multiplying the 3 7 times. So we're going to do 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Let's count how many we have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want one more because we want it to the 7th power. Over, and then 3 to the 5th is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And whenever you're multiplying, and only when you're multiplying, you can cancel. So these two cancel, these two cancel, these two cancel, these two cancel, these two cancel. What are you left with? 3 squared. We can actually calculate 3 squared, evaluate that. That's pretty easy. That's going to be 9. Let's take a look at the following one. We have y to the 5th, your base is y, and you have y to the 5th and divided by y squared. So we're going to have y times y times y times y times y all over y times y. And so notice that when we're multiplying, we can cancel those two out. Cancel those two out, and you're going to have y to the 3rd power. You're the best around. You can do the math and not go wrong. You're the best around. You can do the math and not go wrong. With all of my notes, that's for sure. So let's think about this process here. I just want to make you laugh a little bit, enjoy math a little bit more. So hopefully that made your day here. What do you notice with the initial problem and the final answer? Well, notice that you still have the same base right here. The base was 3 originally, and you end up with 3 squared. And then how do you get from the exponents, how did you get this little 2? Well, if you subtract 7, take away 5, you're going to get 2. Same thing with the variable one. You have y as your base. You still end up with y here. And then how did you get this 3? Well, you had to subtract 5, take away 2 to get 3. So hopefully you guys wrote down. You have to have the same base, just like the other two rules that we learned on last week. Number 2, the second one is that you have to subtract the exponents. So then this is really the quotient rule. Let's move on to the back side. Remember, I am not a professional in video making. I'm just doing this so that your life can be easier. If you feel that you can do a better job, then come help me make these videos. Okay, so we have the quotient rule. Yay! X to the 8th power divided by x to the b power is going to equal to x to the a minus b. Notice that the top exponent goes first. Take away the bottom exponent. That's very important. So we have x to the 6th power divided by x to the 4th. We're going to use the product rule. We're not going to expand it because now we know the product rule. So I'm going to show my work so that you guys can see how it works. So we have 6 take away 4. It's the top exponent take away the bottom exponent. So this is x to the 2nd power. 6 take away 4 is 2. That's your answer. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to have a to the 5 minus 5. So that's going to be a to the 0. And any number to the 0 power is 1. We have negative 2 in parentheses. Remember that if you have a negative number in parentheses, you have to leave it inside the parentheses. So you're going to do 8 take away 4. And so that's going to be negative 2. 8 take away 4 is 4. You have to leave it inside the parentheses. If you do not put the negative 2 inside the parentheses, it will be wrong. Okay, let's take a look at this one here. The next problem. We have 18x to the 8th divided by 3x squared to the 5th. 18 divided by 3 is 6. X, 8 take away 5 is 3. So notice I didn't show any work because you guys eventually should start being able to do it without showing any work. So 18 and 3 are coefficients. They're just treated like normal numbers. 18 can be divided by 3. It's 6. And then the x's, you're going to subtract the exponents. So we have 8 take away 5 is 3. We continue over here. 32, a to the 5th, b to the 9th. Divided by 4a squared b. So 32 and 4 are coefficients. Those are the numbers in front of the variables. There, 32 divided by 4 is 8. We're going to subtract the exponents of a. So 5 take away 2 is 3. And notice that b on the denominator does not have an exponent. So it's understood that there's a 1 there. So b to the 9 take away 1 is 8. So you're going to have your answer as 8a cubed b to the 8th power. Moving on, negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4. The a's, it's going to be 7 take away 2 is 5. Notice that this b does not have an exponent, so let's just put a 1 right there. 3 take away 1 is 2. And then for the c, you have 5 take away 3, that's 2. That's your final answer right there. The last problems involve using the product rule and the power rules, as well as the quotient rule. So we're going to apply some of the rules that we have already learned from last week. So first we're going to distribute this 2 into this parenthesis. So this is 8 squared x to the 10th. So remember, 8 has a little 1 as an exponent. So 1 times 2, because it's a power to a power. We're using the power rule. 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. And then we're going to have over 16x. We're going to actually compute 8 squared. That's 64. X to the 10th. If you don't know that, you could do it on the calculator, but it's just 8 times 8. And then this is over 16x. Now we can divide 64 by 16. 8. Put a little 1 as an exponent there. 10 take away 1. That's 9. And so that's going to be your final answer there. For this problem, we're going to use the product rule, where you go across first. You're going to do the top first. Combine those two. So 10 plus 4 is 14. Divided by y cubed. Then you're going to subtract 14 take away 3. That is going to be 11. Y to the 11th power. Same thing with the last problem here. You're going to do the top first. Remember the 2 and the 3, those are just coefficients. You just treat them as normal numbers. 2 times 3 is 6. And then you're combining the ends. So you're going to add the exponents. That's going to be to the 9th power over into the 6th. And now we're going to have 6n. You're going to subtract because you're dividing here. So 9 take away 6 is 3. And so that'll be your final answer. And remember, you're the best around. You can do the math and not go wrong. You're the best around. You can do the math and not go wrong. I want to thank all these people for helping me with my videos. Credits to Natalia, Samuel, and Olivia. Thank you for setting up my YouTube channel. My daughters, Jasmine, Jada, and Jessica. Thank you for all the tech class and tech support. And, of course, the song, You're the Best Around by Joe Esposito from the Karate Kid soundtracks. Disclaimer, I am not trying to get rich or famous. I just want to teach math to my students. Thank you very much, and you need to go to video 2 now.